At Waymaker.Church, our name carries our calling to build bridges and remove obstacles for people to be who God has created and called them to be. The time has come for us to rise up in our calling like never before. The year 2020 has been unprecedented with its challenges, from a pandemic to political and social upheaval and so much more. Yet, all of this has made a way for an unprecedented opportunity to be an increasingly generous and impactful church, to build lives, families, leaders, and community like never before. Jesus models and teaches us that increased generosity leads to increased impact, or the more we pour out, the more we make a way for others to experience Jesus. So, Waymaker Church, we want to be radically generous like never before. Here's how: the Waymaker Fund. This is the new name for our giving portal, but it's so much more than just a new name. It's a new and deeper precedent. Let me explain. Since our beginning, many of you have faithfully poured out the first portions of your income, and often even more, towards the shared purpose God has for our church. You've done so sacrificially, week after week, month after month, season after season, and God has honored that obedience. Right now, the Waymaker Fund helps build lives. People are encountering Jesus and being transformed by His love and power. So far this year, 80 people have chosen to believe in and follow Jesus through our in-person and online gatherings. And 30 people have shared their transformational stories through baptism. Imagine what God will do in the coming year through our increased generosity. The Waymaker Fund helps build families. This year, many marriages have been restored through our response culture, marriage mentorship, counseling, and covenant classes. Families are getting whole, healthy, and thriving again. Additionally, we build families by providing meals for foster families and supply bags for foster children throughout Central Virginia. The Waymaker Fund also helps build leaders. There's a lot at stake in our times. That's why we must have high character and high capacity leaders needed to meet the demands, which puts our church on the forefront of developing leaders through Waymaker Institute, Next Level Leadership, and other leadership initiatives. To this date, we've launched 80 students through our development pathway. Some now even serve as spiritual leaders in other churches throughout our nation. The Waymaker Fund helps build community. This year, we've launched over 30 groups where marriages have been built up, lives have been transformed, and many have experienced true redemption and freedom from sin cycles. The Waymaker Fund also helps show compassion and generosity in our local community. We've invested critical resources in families and global partners hit hard by the pandemic and economic downturn. Also, we've partnered with like-minded churches to call our community to prayer and repentance for racial redemption in our generation. Imagine what God will do in the coming year through our increased generosity. As I said, the Waymaker Fund is not just a new name for our giving portal. It's also a new and deeper precedent. Here's what has changed. Now, an increasing percentage of every dollar given to the Waymaker Fund will first be distributed to compassion and outreach efforts. These are commitments and opportunities we've made and will continue to make for the good of others beyond our local church walls. Then, from there, each dollar will be distributed to the in-house ministries and operations of our church. Simply, we pour out before we pour in. Why this change? Because God is asking our church to grow in generosity and impact, and it starts with each of us personally. I invite you to be a part of the Waymaker Fund. For some of you, this is the first time you've invested in a vision like this. And for others, this is an opportunity for you to continue and even increase your giving and impact. Our name carries our calling. So let's rise up in this calling and be waymakers like never before. Let's be radically generous.